Hunter x Hunter is the pinnacle of shonen creation. Not to say that it's the best, even if I used to think so, but come on, I want you to bring me one bad Hunter x Hunter episode. Even if you're the most fearless and skilled critic on the face of Earth, I think it would be difficult to find any nonsensical holes in the power system of the world or the actual story. However, even if I don't think Hunter x Hunter contains any bad arcs, I still have preferences. And today I'm gonna make a ranking of the Hunter x Hunter arcs from worst to best, but just the ones in the anime, due to the fact that I'm one of two people in the entire world that still have hope that the anime will someday come back. At number 7, we have the 13th Hunter Chairman election arc. To be honest, I don't think that the reason why this is my least favorite Hunter x Hunter arc is because it's bad or anything, but far from it. It's just that it came right after the literal peak of the series. So watching this after witnessing the shocking and amazing ending of the previous arc just feels weird. I just felt a little disinterest in some of the plot lines in this arc. It's a very steep fall in tension and stakes, but of course we still had enough Zoldyck shenanigans to make up for that. I liked killua's journey to rescue Gon, and his relationship with his sister or brother or whatever was endearing. On top of that, we get to see Illumi trying again to psychologically manipulate and torture his younger brother. What a good man. So yeah, overall there are some pretty fun sections. And let us not forget that this arc marked the return of Hisoka. Can you imagine that after 61 episodes without him, he was back, and we even get to see him fight, while also making this strange duo with Illumi, which in my opinion adds points to this arc. And you know what also adds points? It's Leorio opening a fucking portal in the ground and punching Jin in the face. After a very long absence, we actually saw Leorio again, and we saw him use Nen for the first time, and looking really badass while doing so. Although I liked some parts of this arc, I wasn't really invested in all the storylines. It got somewhat boring through some sections, and as I mentioned, it may not be because it is actually boring, it's more because it came at the wrong time. At number 6, we have the Zoldyck family arc. After stating in the first arc that Killua came from a family of assassins, now it's time to see the members of this beautiful, welcoming, and warm family. Well, that's cute. The Zoldyck family arc is short, but it's effective and serves the role of the transition into the next adventure, while also showing furthermore the consistency of Togashi's character writing. It presses more on traits we saw in Gon from the first arc, showcasing further how much he actually cares about his friends, and will not give a shit even if they killed an innocent person, showing his unbreakable resolve to see Killua when he stood against Canary. But the funny thing that things got resolved without them actually interfering. Just coming there was actually enough, because Killua's father is the one that set him free. And I fucking doubt they could have done anything against the Zoldicks if he didn't decide to let his son go.
All my fellas, all my fellas, all my fellas, all my fellas.
I also need to mention that this arc, although short, contained one of my favorite Hunter x Hunter manga panels. Like, look at this. This is a monster. That's what I can call an actual beast. The damn thing looks like a Bloodborne enemy. I know most of you won't focus on this, but I just love the design. Even if simple, it looks really threatening. Overall, this arc is great, and if you're asking why I put it so low on the list, it's because it's short and it doesn't have that much material compared to the other longer arcs. But I see it as one of the most badass Hunter x Hunter arcs. Number 5, we have Greed Island. I think you understand now when I say that Hunter x Hunter has no bad arcs. If an arc like this was put into another typical shonen, it can be considered one of its best, but due to the fact that we are talking about Hunter, I think it's one of my least favorites. Greed Island starts with Gon and Killua finding a way to access a game that Jin, Gon's father, made with his friends, in hopes that Jin left clues in the game for Gon to find him. Except that the whole thing turned out to be a prank. Gon and Killua are practically trapped in this game where everyone is trying to kill each other until they actually win. Wow, Jin, you're a really good father. The concept of the game itself is amazing. It feels like a world inside another world. Great Island has rules and mechanics. It really feels they entered an actual video game. Like the whole arc, I felt that they can make a Great Island game. An actual Great Island video game. Togashi really went hardcore in making this concept. But sadly, the way that the rules of the game are explained to the viewer isn't very smooth. Believe me, there are a lot of rules and card abilities that it would be better if you understood. A lot of times it feels that the other characters are just explaining these rules to the viewer. It doesn't feel very natural. I appreciate the idea, but in my opinion the execution is far from perfect, because this downside led to a lot of, to put it lightly, not so entertaining sections. But on the other side, this arc actually contains one of the most enjoyable sections in the entire anime. I know it seems a bit of a controversy, but that's what I mean by this arc isn't bad. It just contains more boring parts than the other arcs that hardly have any unentertaining sections. For me, the Razor dodgeball fight can stand as enough proof that Great Island is a great piece of shonen fiction. Like, look at this. They teamed up with fucking Hisoka. Hisoka, the fucking pedo. This match contains scenes and moments that I can easily consider real peak Hunter x Hunter hype.
完璧取れっこねレシーブ
How can anyone hate this? And all this without mentioning the training with Bisky, or the first time Killua used electricity, or the many other amazing parts of this great shonen arc. I know that judging by the way I'm talking about the Great Island arc, it feels like it's on second place on the list, but though it's good, it's still no better than the rest of the arcs. At number 4 we have the Hunter exam arc. I just can't press enough how much I love this. It is really the perfect way to start the story, unlike most of the other popular shonens that took their time to build their characters and tones slowly until reaching their true identity. It seems that Hunter x Hunter didn't need all that time. The story found a way to sorta get comfortable, and that's all thanks to this first arc. The Hunter exam arc is full of tonal shifts, yet they don't feel unnatural. It's part of the series' identity, going from the more adventurous tone to the darker and sometimes more gruesome territory that Hunter x Hunter is known for, showcasing a lot of brilliant character moments and more serious and mature writing in a lot of occasions throughout this arc. And the fact that this arc is put into this exam formula facilitated the exposition from the creatures of the world, characters, motives, locations, rules, and a lot of other story elements. And the exams themselves are so damn enjoyable. Each one requires different skills and abilities. Some need teamwork, others need strategy and carefulness, or you can be just Hisoka. I tried over and over again and I found the mission to find problems in this arc impossible. I enjoyed every moment in this brilliant opening arc of the Hunter x Hunter story. And to be honest, nostalgia did play a major factor here because I used to love watching this when I was a kid in the Arab dubbed 99 version. And at number 3 we have the Heaven's Arena arc. Putting this arc this high on the list is debatable, but I can't for the life of me put it any lower. The more I start to lean into lowering its rank, I just remember how fun I had watching this. First of all, this arc introduces the main Hunter x Hunter power system, which can be in fact considered one of the best, if not the best shonen power system out there. The Nen system is unbelievably incredible. The potential of this power system can be seen from its introduction. Just thinking about it, you can imagine a million ways on how characters can use it. Let's just say it did not disappoint. This arc is a training arc and a tournament arc at the same time, the two most known stereotypes in the world of shonen. Yet it still feels so unique, because that's what Togashi does. He does put his distinctive print on his stories and characters. That's why even if you saw hundreds of training arcs and tournament arcs, you feel that this is different, because it is building for something bigger. And you may think I'm biased when I mention this, but one of my favorite things in shonen is tournament arcs. Aside from that, chemistry between Gon and Killua here just adds so many points. This is the first arc that focused solely on their friendship, showing furthermore how different yet alike the two of them are, showing more that they are two sides of the same coin. The only thing that I didn't like in this arc is the villains. I know that they are really not meant to be that threatening in the first place, but they weren't really interesting. But that didn't annoy me that much because we still had fucking Hisoka. At number 2 we have the Yorknew City arc. The arcs previous to this one, you can easily notice Togashi's exceptional abilities to juggle different vibes and feelings throughout the runtime of the series. You can see it transition smoothly from funny to adventurous to extremely dark, and that is still present in this arc, yet I can't help but see the obvious jump in the number of gruesome and dark scenery, because the whole theme of this arc when it comes to its visuals and storytelling is more mature than the previous sections of the story. But it's funny that this arc doesn't start like this right away. It actually begins with Gon come back to Whale Island with Killua. The short and first part of this arc sets our characters into their new adventure while having a lot of warm and quiet moments that feel like Gon and Killua are breathing in their situation, talking to each other, sharing their thoughts casually. And that's an aspect that I absolutely adore about Togashi's writing. He allows his characters to talk to each other, to have moments of peace. I guess he never predicted that the time will come where people will be able to watch stuff only if there is a totally unrelated video of a bad mobile game on the bottom of the screen. But after having our time with the main duo, we are reintroduced to the real main character of this arc, Kurapika. I think it's obvious that Kurapika in this arc has the most interesting plotline. It's a revenge story, but it doesn't feel cliche or repetitive because it is represented so well. But the real reason why this arc is so high on the list isn't Gon, Killua, Kurapika, or even Leorio. The real reason why I adored this since I was a child is our first glance as viewers into the dark world of the Phantom Troop. They are a perfect villain group, up there with the Akatsuki. They are really bad people, but you cannot help it but feel genuinely interested in them and their dynamics. What I absolutely adore about the Phantom Troop as villains for this arc is how actually threatening they are. They actually present a serious source of danger for our beloved characters, and I think this is the most important thing in a villain. Frieza, for example, from Dragon Ball Z, is a good villain, not because he has a tragic backstory or anything, but the complete opposite. The dude is a fucking asshole, for the sake of being an asshole, but he presents a serious threat to the cast, and this applies to the Phantom Troop also. We see them kill and murder and commit all kinds of gruesome, atrocious crimes. There were hints in the first arc that gave us a vague picture of the fucked up nature of their criminal activity, mainly the genocide that they carried out on Kurapika's people, which is the main focus of this whole arc. And to be honest, dedicating a whole part of the story to this plot line was a smart decision, because there is a lot to explore here when it comes to Kurapika's character. And when it comes to action, Yorknew City is the first arc after we were introduced to the concept of Nen, and now it's time to see characters use Nen. And oh my god, the build up that we had in the Heaven's Arena arc really paid off here. We saw characters use it with countless ways and fashions. Kurapika with his chain, Chrollo with the skill hunter ability, we even saw fucking Zeno use Nen for the first time. This arc contained one of my favorite fights in the entire series, like Kurapika versus UFO or the Zeno and Silva duo versus Chrollo, which was a short yet amazing fight. Like, look at this, goddammit. Yorknew City arc offered probably the best visuals in all of Hunter x Hunter, especially in the 99 anime. Like, seriously, this is some Evangelion level of dark, edgy 90s anime scenery. Look at this. This whole arc just looks and feels so badass. Just taking UFO's Requiem as an example is enough to show how cool yet dark this section of the story was. And at number 1, we have the Chimera Ant arc. I cannot whatsoever deny the fact that I got a little bored during some sections of this arc, but due to its unprecedented length in the Hunter x Hunter series, it's only natural that you will not be interested in all the minor plot lines throughout this arc. So you may ask me, why is this my favorite arc when it's clearly imperfect? Well, my answer is simple. The best moments and the best things in this arc, the peaks of the Chimera Ants, are the peaks of Hunter x Hunter as a whole for me. I love how this arc feels like a payoff to the journey that we had with Gon thus far, seeing hints along the way that describe Gon as a person, because unlike most known shonen protagonists, he's not that righteous as a person. We may say that he's actually quite selfish in fact, and we see the results of all that subtle characterization here in this arc, witnessing as viewers our beloved protagonist turn into this violent, terrifying monster. And the funny thing is the qualities that we often loved and praised about Gon, like his will to protect the ones he cares about, is the main reason for this transformation, because unlike the rough situations he and his friends were forced into in the previous arcs that ended up with all his friends safe, here he actually lost a dear friend. He convinced himself for the entire runtime of the arc that Kite was alive, but seeing Gon, the smiling, loving kid, break in front of us is just so impactful. Seeing him feel helpless in this situation, resorting to the closest thing he can cling into, which is anger and revenge. Seeing all these dark emotions manifest in front of me, watching this scene, the colors, the animation, the dark, almost demonic OST just hits too hard. The first time I saw this, I was shocked yet not surprised. This moment did feel built up to. It wasn't out of the blue, it's painful yet it's genius. Gon's transformation scene into this vengeful, sad, empty beast may actually be my favorite transformation scene in all of anime. But this arc doesn't just offer a human's descent into monstrosity, it also offers the opposite of that, with one of my favorite villains of all time, the King, Merwin. When we are first introduced to the King, he was the definition of a monster. He didn't flinch when killing innocent people, and he didn't question his superiority over the humankind. But when meeting Komugi, he starts to soften up step by step. Komugi, the blind, helpless girl, defeats him in Gongi, a game that he used to show that he's not only superior to humans only in physical strength, but also in intellect. After playing a lot of Gongi games and getting defeated over and over again, he starts to develop a strong bond with Komugi. For the first time, he experiences emotion. As a creature born with a twisted and evil nature, his relationship with Komugi starts to make him rethink his choices and goals. And at the same time, he was given someone to care about, someone he wants to protect. He actually connects more with his human side. And you may say that it's the reason why he let his guard down in the end and died by the poisonous bomb. Of course, this arc contains a lot of other plot threads aside from Gon's and Merwin's, and a lot of them are really good. Really good actually. But those two paradoxical stories are the main reason why this is my favorite Hunter x Hunter arc. Thank you for watching, I hope this video was to your liking. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment, and thank you.